Courage Barbell, Chad Ikes. Today, I want to talk about one of my favorite of many upper back exercises. I like to do a lot of upper back work because almost every client I see walk in here, almost every time I go to a public gym, I see it as well. They come in here, they have tight anteriors, the shoulders are rolled forward, their pecs are tight, the anterior delt's tight, then their middle back is weak as hell. They have poor proprioception of their shoulders and their back. They have poor movement patterns of their shoulder joint and their back. It's just, they're a mess. And I can go off on a whole other probably 2-hour rant about why that is and what we need to do to fix it, but that's a whole different video. Basically, you see a lot of people rolled like this, and they think they're standing up straight when they need to be back here like this. And the problem is that all of our joints are made to have a balance to them. They have protagonistic and antagonistic muscles. They're made to have equal pull on them. So if one muscle is way strong, if one protagonist is stronger than an antagonist, we're going to have issues. If the anterior is way tighter than the posterior, we're going to have issues. If one is way stronger than the other one, we're going to have issues. And part of lifting for me, even for my young power lifters, I want those guys, or any strength athlete, I want those guys to be healthy. One of the biggest setbacks any athlete can have is an injury. So I want to avoid injuries. I want to avoid injuries with correct movement patterns, with staying on mobility, with staying on flexibility, and just continuing to move the joints correctly to keep the muscle balances where they need to be. And I happen to train guys from 18 to 80. Actually, I trained some clients younger than that. And even my 80-year-old clients, I trained in a modified powerlifting style because that's going to give them the best quality of life, and that's what we're really after with them. And it's so sad to me to see somebody who's actually retired and now they're too beat up, too sore, too messed up to actually enjoy their retirement years that they worked so damn hard for. So I want to get those guys moving correctly, get their joints in the best shape I can, give them that mobility and everything so that they can do this. If you look at the shoulder joint, where you have the cup off the scapula and the humerus, when they sit in there kind of like this, you know, if I have this right here pulled forward, and now it's got to move in all the directions it's supposed to move, we're doing a bunch of wear on the anterior capsule. And that's not good. Maybe it doesn't hurt right now. Maybe it's not a problem right now when you're 24. It's going to be a problem later if you continue to do it. It's going to be a chronic issue that eventually builds up and then something really goes wrong. It's also going to pull on and make your rotator cuff muscles. It's going to just devastate them. At some point, something's going to happen and give. So it's very important that we start working on these things with young people and show them how to do these things right. Okay, enough of that. Let's get on to the exercise. Now, what is the name of this exercise? I don't really give a crap. I never do. I know there's so many exercises that have different names. I call it the A. And I'll show you why I call it the A here in a minute. But basically, I'm a big fan of YWTs. I can fit this one in with a YWT, and it makes sense to go, well, this is the A then of all the different letters. So that's why I call it the A. But this exercise, as with all exercises, intent and execution is crucial. You can't just go through it. If you just go through it, you're not going to train and work the areas that you need to be working. You have to really focus on this exercise, focus on what you're doing, have that mind-muscle connection, and make sure everything works right. And if you are a trainer, or if you train with a team and you're watching your teammates, like, don't be afraid to like touch people. Don't be afraid to go, listen, I can feel your lats aren't activating right here. I want to feel this muscle flex, because that's going to help with their mind-muscle connection. It's going to help with their proprioception. If they're over-flexing their traps, you can tap on their traps and go, listen, I feel it, relax this, relax this, relax this. And that little bit of tap on that muscle is going to help them go, okay, that's the muscle, okay, that's the one I need to relax. So never be afraid to touch your clients, your teammates. If you do have a trainer and your trainer never touches you, there's probably a problem. And you know, I'm a pretty antisocial guy, so touching people isn't my favorite thing in the world, but it's part of the job. It's what you got to do. That's a side note right there. So the reason I call this the A is because we're going to have a bar behind our back, and we're going to have our arms out in pretty much an A. With this one, this is just a weighted PVC, 1-inch piece of PVC pipe. It's sand, water, maybe 10 pounds. I really don't know. A regular barbell is probably going to be too much for most people. So if you have a wood dowel, just an empty piece of PVC, it's really more about the movement and focusing on the movement and the control. The first, I'm going to show you 2 versions of this one. I actually have a couple more, but I'm going to save those for another video, so you guys can keep watching. Subscribe to this channel. What we're going to do, we're going to grab the bar, get it behind us. We're going to bend over in a 45, and you want to make sure you're not hunched over. You want that back in neutral. You want to brace. I even root when I do this, so I'm rooted, braced. I want my head in neutral. I'm going to let this bar go behind my knees. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scapular retract, and I'm going to depress my shoulders by pulling my lats down. As I come up, I'm going to really, at the top here, I'm focusing hard to get those shoulder blades together, pulling the shoulders back as far as I can, and the whole time, I'm trying to push this bar away from my body. And I'm doing that by using my lats to depress my shoulders. And I'm coming up, and so this whole time, I'm squeezing my rhomboids. My middle and lower traps are just working like mad. My lats are working like mad. And just like that, that's version 1. Version 2, we're going to do laying on the floor, which I'm going to show you right now. I may or may not edit me getting down here. It's kind of hot in here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I got the bar behind me. Hold my head in neutral. Squeeze my shoulder blades together, depress them. We're going to come up. Just like that. The big things to watch for in this exercise are the very normal trap dominance that we see in a lot of people. People tend to want to pull up like this, or we're not. We're using the lats and depressing the shoulders. So even when I'm laying on the ground, I'm trying to push the bar to my feet. As you can see, I'm a little short of breath and I only did a few exercises. These exercises, this isn't heavy for me. I'm really good at these exercises, but every time I do them, I'm executing it the best I possibly can. I have 100% intent on what muscles I'm flexing, what muscles I'm relaxing. I'm squeezing those muscles as hard as I possibly can. And I'm really focusing on that mind-muscle connection, where my body's moving and how it's moving. And even with light weight, that is actually going to tax your body quite a bit. So, give this exercise a try. I can guarantee you the vast majority of you people out there watching this, except for the high-level lifters, you're probably okay, actually have a really bad weakness in those rhomboids, middle traps, lower traps, and a couple other muscles in there probably. You're probably also tight here, so even opening up like this, we're going to get a little bit of active stretching throughout this anterior portion of the anterior delts, the chest, and whatnot. All right, guys, please like this channel. Please subscribe to this channel. Please share this channel. Keep watching. I'm kind of back on track. I'm trying to put out at least one video a week so I can keep you guys going on new stuff. And that's it. I'm out of here.